Shedeur Sanders' mom Pilar throws Arch Manning under the bus to expose biggest issue as son gets ignored 143 times. It began with whispers. Then the quiet got so loud that it was hard to ignore. In almost 40 years, I've never seen anything like this, said Shannon Sharp, who was seeing everything happen in real time. While the NFL world turned a blind eye, Shedeur Sanders, one of the most famous names in college football and the quarterback who led Colorado through chaos and cameras, remained in draft purgatory. Not one call in rounds 1, 3, or 4. And as one pick after another came in, something else broke through the noise: doubt. But his arm and attitude weren't the only things that were questioned. It was something deeper, older, uglier. Shedeur's mother, Pilar Sanders, recently reshared a reel on her IG story. But a frustrated fandom shouted the silent part aloud in that brief tape, which was oozing with precision, frustration, and truth bombs. It was more than just a defense of her son. It included double standards, blatant falsehoods, dog whistles, and myths about football royalty. The systemic bias ingrained in the NFL's PR playbook was directly targeted. And in the process, Arch Manning became the collateral. The real Pilar repost hit all the right notes. The speaker in the video lays it out with extreme clarity. You're not going to convince me that he's in these rooms doing poorly in interviews when we have 4 years of evidence that the man's great in front of the camera, including his combined press conferences. And the turning point was that Cam Ward also didn't throw in the combine. But no one's raising any questions about his attitude. No top quarterback throws at the combine, including Cam Ward, who is also in this draft. But then the torpedo hit. Next year, when Arch Manning comes out, compare how they talk about his family as opposed to the way they talk about Shedeur. It was a precision strike on the way front offices and the media create and preserve legacies. Arch, who was born into the Manning dynasty, will be surrounded by soft-focused documentary light, like Bet on the Genes, QB stock, and football royalty. But Shedeur? He has been called entitled, spoiled, and arrogant. It's almost a story about two bloodlines, one admired and the other hated. Chad Johnson also commented on the whole situation as he read a message he received on social media. The machinery of a system that has never quite known what to do with a free black man, much less a free black family. The NFL finds itself uncomfortable, even threatened, when the likes of the Sanders family walk into a room not asking for a seat at the table, but daring to bring their own. Shedeur Sanders should have gone first overall. This is not about football. It's personal, said Skip Bayless. And then he dropped the hammer. Too many white people in charge who just roll their eyes at father and son. Pilar remained silent. She posted the video, and the truth spoke for itself. From QB1 to pick 144, what Shedeur Sanders' draft position really says. Numbers never lie, people do. They took 5 quarterbacks. 143 picks passed. Finally, at pick 144, the Cleveland Browns traded up to end the freefall. To be clear, Shedeur Sanders was not this draft's 144th best player. Not at all. And the harm had already been done in spite of the Browns' gesture. The slide wasn't about talent. It was about discomfort. Instead of assessing a quarterback, NFL front offices were evaluating a movement, a family, and an entire brand. And that made them nervous. Cleveland's waterways remain muddy even now. Deshaun Watson's Achilles is a ticking time bomb. Joe Flacco is 40 years old. Although he is officially the quarterback, Kenny Pickett was cut by 2 teams in the last 18 months. Dillon Gabriel was drafted ahead of Shedeur. What, then, actually caused Shedeur to advance to the 5th round? According to Skip Bayless, it was fear. They're afraid Deion's going to take over the franchise. Take the coach's job. Take the executive's job. They don't want the kid because they're scared of the father. Even in Cleveland, Shedeur enters a locker room full of uncertainty and optics. If he wins the quarterback battle, it could be called nepotism. If he sits, it might be told you he's not ready for the NFL. This is a no-win situation created by a league that is still afraid of anything that doesn't fit neatly into its preferred storyline. The irony is that Shedeur may have the cleanest slate of all. No controversies, no red flags, just a name. But not one that will be presented to him with the roses of the Hall of Fame ceremony, as Arch Manning will. If anything, Shedeur's story is the kind that the NFL should celebrate, but when it isn't wrapped in Southern charm and legacy genes, they don't sell it. they sidelined. Shiloh Sanders endorses brother Shedeur's silent clapback at NFL as Cam Ward and Travis Hunter left in dust. When the NFL draft finally cooled off and the confetti dropped, guess who came out the other side as the people's champ? Nah, it wasn't the Golden Boys at the top. Shedeur Sanders, who slid to the 5th round, straight up clapped back without saying a word. But his big bro Shiloh Sanders? Man, he put the NFL on blast the loudest way he could on IG. The same Shiloh who didn't even get drafted himself. Let that sink in. One fell 5 rounds, the other went undrafted. And still, these two got the streets buzzing. Video player is loading, pause. So peep this. Shedeur didn't need to scream or throw shade. He let the numbers do the talking. According to Fanatics, his Browns jersey is the top-selling jersey in the entire 2025 draft class. You heard that right. No, not Cam Ward. Not Travis Hunter. Not even close. And those boys went 1-2. The 5th rounder with the last name Sanders got the crown. A 5th rounder beating top picks in merch sales? That don't happen by accident. Shiloh Sanders co-signed the moment with the slickest move on the gram, tagging Shedeur's own track. Perfect timing. No caption needed. Just vibes, validation, and a not-so-subtle, I told y'all so. Browns haven't even announced his jersey number for real, but folks are still buzzing. The Browns dropped a mock-up of him in number 5, but he wore number 2 at Colorado. But either way, it's moving like Yeezys in 2017. Shedeur's draft slide reportedly cost him around $40 million compared to Ward and Hunter, according to Spotrac projections. But where he lost in salary, he might just make up in influence. Shedeur Sanders had a $6.5 million nil valuation in college and was second only to Arch Manning in that space. Nike, Beats by Dre. The man's a brand already. That popularity isn't just vanity metrics either. It's leverage. The Browns might have drafted him as a backup, but with Deshaun Watson recovering and the QB room full of question marks, Joe Flacco ancient, Kenny Pickett confused, Dylan Gabriel hungry, Shedeur's got a real shot to compete. And the pressure's already on the Browns to handle this one right. Not everybody is happy with Bucks signing Shiloh Sanders. Now flip it. While Shedeur's taking over Cleveland, Shiloh landed a spot in Tampa Bay as an undrafted free agent. Coach Todd Bowles ain't wasting any time. Said, I'm excited to get him in here and see how he moves. He said Shiloh was a smart baller who knows the game. And Jason Licht, the GM, he doubled down, said Deion Sanders hit them up to thank them for keeping it real and giving his son a fair shot. That's love. But of course, not everybody is smiling. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk raised an eyebrow or two. He said, any team that gives Shiloh a shot needs to be ready for it to be a fair shot, because Deion has the public profile to call out anyone who doesn't. In Deion's view, give either Shiloh or Shedeur a fair shot. And he's not wrong. Deion will speak up. If a team plays dirty or tries to stash his sons like leftovers, you already know he's going to go on IG Live or press and light them up. That spotlight is both a blessing and a problem. It helps Shedeur rack up nil deals like candy, but it also rubbed NFL front offices the wrong way. Word is, Shedeur got a lil picky with teams in pre-draft meetings, walking in, looking around like, y'all ain't good enough for me. That confidence? Yeah, it hit differently in a draft room. And guess who caught some of that shrapnel? Shiloh. If teams are already nervous about Deion Sanders meddling with Shedeur, they're definitely side-eyeing Shiloh. Like, oh, we sign him, and if he don't start, Deion's gonna start a campaign? It's messy, and it might explain why Shiloh didn't get picked, even though he low-key tackled his way through the Big 12 like a heat-seeking missile. But let's be real. This ain't the first time the league's been shook by a loud, confident, media-savvy family. The Mannings did it. The Ball brothers in the NBA did it. Prime ain't doing nothing different. He's just got gold chains and louder catchphrases. End of the day, the Bucks knew what they signed up for. Shiloh ain't a charity case. He's a low-key good DB who's gonna bite ankles and bark at WRs like a pit bull in cleats. Oh yeah, maybe Deion is going to talk. Maybe the media is going to overhype. But if these kids can ball, and they can, all that noise turns into promo.